أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. In today's lecture 229, we will discuss four forces of nature and the Qur'an. It is second issue of the Qur'an and modern sciences, and it is related to astrophysics. Four forces of the nature explain the birth, sustainability and demise of the universe, including the stars, sun, earth, man, and the tiniest quarks that constitute protons, neutrons, and electrons, considered to be the building blocks of everything in the universe. These areas are dealt by the theories of general relativity and quantum mechanics under the astrophysics, a specialized branch of physics extended to astronomy. In lecture 227, we noticed that the said two theories are not mutually compatible in explaining whole sum of the universe, its birth, existence, and anticipated demise. Demise, what is demise? Demise is end of the universe that necessitated these shortcomings or inadequacies necessitated the need to find a unified theory that would describe everything in the universe together. It is the thinking of the top physicists, contemporary physicists, including Roger and many other known physicists. Similar imperfections noticed in the interaction among the four forces of the nature also call for a unified force constituting these four, or even some more forces capable to give an integrated, wholesome explanation of all the matters of the universe. It means neither those two theories, relativity and quantum, nor these theories on four forces of nature, they are not adequate to explain the birth of the universe and expansion, then demise of the anticipated demise of the universe. So these are inadequate theories. We will see in our discussion how science prejudicially ignore or unfortunately fail to take notice of the Qur'anic guiding vision in finding explanation of the said imperfections or pitfalls found in most of the scientific theories. We will discuss this Qur'anic vision that may help in connecting the missing links. What are the missing links? The deficiencies, imperfections confronted by science in this area of investigation, provided there is a condition, provided the fact is understood that materiality of all the elements in the universe, including the forces of nature, are sustained and controlled by the laws of nature under a unified divine order set by Allah, the Almighty. So, dear friends, let us begin with the description given by the modern physics regarding four forces of the nature: gravity, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force, and weak nuclear force. These are four forces of nature. The astrophysics tells that every physical motion in the universe depends on the interaction and equilibrium of these four forces. Michael Denton, a famous British Australian molecular biologist, describes extraordinary equilibrium among these forces that makes this universe sustainable. Without this equilibrium, sustainability is not possible. He says, had the gravity or gravitational force been just slightly stronger than its given level, the universe would have extremely smaller and its life far shorter, very short. Mass of an average star would have been 1,000,000,000 times less than the sun and its lifespan of about 1 year. Just imagine, with very slight, difference. While had this gravity slightly less powerful, no stars or galaxies would have ever been formed. Likewise, had the strong nuclear force been just slightly weaker, not much weaker, very, slightly weaker, the only element that would have been stable was hydrogen, and no other atom could exist. Had the strong nuclear force been slightly stronger in relation to electromagnetic force, then an atomic nucleus consisting of only 2 protons would have been a stable feature of the universe. It means there would have been no hydrogen. Under such situation, nature of stars and galaxies, had they ever been evolved, would have been grossly different from the given outfit. Had these forces not have precisely the same values and balances, there have been no stars, no supernova, no planets, no atoms, and no life. Thus, the sustainability of the whole universe and all its elements is depending on the perfect equilibrium and balance among all the elements of the universe precisely interwoven by these forces. Now you understand what's the significance of balance and equilibrium of these forces. Ultimate cause that science is trying to find in the peripheries of nature as final or first cause of the Big Bang. So, ultimate cause that science is trying to find in the peripheries, not in the center, focused peripheries of the nature, in fact, is the unified divine order that pervasively rules the constituents of an atom and the stars equally and sharingly. This is, wonder, mystery, and blessing of my God. Let me quote here a few verses of the Qur'an revealing the divine force working underneath the material universe, behind the materiality of the universe. Ayat 5 to 9 of Surah Ar-Rahman precisely, focusedly describe this great truth in the words. Just listen. The sun and the moon move by precise calculation, and the stars and trees. We can't count the stars, we can't count the trees. Just imagine the example. And the stars and the trees prostrate, submit, comply with the divine order, and the heaven he raised and imposed the balance, that you not transgress within the balance, and establish weight in justice, and do not make deficient the balance. Our social life, the whole makeup of the universe, all is in equilibrium, in balance. It may be life of an individual or the life of the universe. The ayat reveal that all the constituents of the universe, small or big, tree or star, are precisely responsive to a unified force, ensuring a consistent internal equilibrium for the systemic sustainability. A profuse balance of the forces of nature. What is profuse balance? Universal balance, pervasive balance. A profuse balance of the forces of nature is manifested in the establishment of the heavens, the universe in multiple dimensions without any visible pillars by the divine order, complying the will of Allah. What is divine order? It is the compliance of the will of Allah. It is in fact the invisible force of the divine order permeated within the visible forces of the nature, material forces of the nature. Such balance is also desired from the man in the social context, so that a sustainable and peaceful human society could be evolved in this earthly world. The words mizan and qist used in the verses mean balance, equity. Equity is reference to economic equity, justice, social justice, and equilibrium, balance in every walks of life. Through these verses, the man is desired to explore knowledge of the materiality of the factors maintaining the universal balance and the unity of divine force underlying such balance and equilibrium, to know. What to know? The divine powers of Allah and His love for humanity, for the mankind, as it has been blessed with resources of the universe to make its living comfortable. Who's living comfortable? The mankind's living comfortable. So much God is, love the humanity. By this, Allah has desired the man, his vicegerent, man, Allah's vicegerent, to establish such equilibrium or justice in his social domain for the comfort and well-being of mankind. This is lesson of the nature. This is lesson of the universe. This is the order of my Allah Almighty. Ayat 2 of Surah Ar-Ra'd and Ayat 18 of Surah Al-Imran shown on the screen are also noteworthy in the context of our discussion. Some more Quranic references shown on the screen may also be consulted for comprehensive understanding of the subject. Now, what was the logic? What was the logical impact of the said universal equilibrium and balance created by the forces of the nature? It's a question. This arrangement underwrites, ensures consistency and sustainability of the universal system as it is revealed in Ayat 3 of Surah Al-Mulk in the words. Just listen and ponder on it. And who created? Who? Allah. And who created 7 heavens in layers. You do not see in the creation of the most merciful any inconsistency, any break, any deficiency. It is fully consistent. any inconsistency. So return your vision, look at the sky. Do you see any breaks? It's a question and it's a challenge to each and every arrogant and disbeliever on this earth. So, dear friends, as mentioned earlier, theories of general relativity and quantum mechanics are not compatible in explaining the wholeness of the universe. Science has called for the need of a unified theory that could address these incompatibilities between the two and also find the connecting glue which can connect them, glue between the missing links confronted by science in the area of four or even some more if could be identified forces of the nature to give an integrated, wholesome explanation of all the constituents of the universe together. Before we seek guidance from the Quranic verses in this context, let us see the missing links confronted by science in the area of four forces of the nature. What are the deficiencies? Dear friends, let us begin with gravity or gravitational force. Newton envisioned it as a pull between any two objects determined by their respective masses and square of the distance between them. Newton's idea of gravity dominated physics from 1687 till 1915, when Albert Einstein observed that his ideas present a special case of relativity applied to weak gravity and low speeds, and not to high gravity or high speeds like the speed of light. Thus, he proposed his general theory of relativity, explaining the gravity as a distortion of space caused by mass. You are following my points? In the formation of the universe, it was the gravitational attraction between the original gaseous matter in the space that made it to coalesce, get together, coalesce to form stars and then condense them into galaxies. Now you just imagine the importance of gravitational force. So it was ruling the stars and galaxies, but it has some weaknesses. Let's see. Thus, at the cosmos level, it is the strongest force that holds the moon, planets, sun, stars, and galaxies together in their respective orbits. Keep them dutiful to their, orbits. However, at atomic level means at the smallest level, it happens to be the weakest force, as it has little effect because the masses of the subatomic particles are extremely small. Due to this duality of gravity, science faces great challenges in reconciling the theories of relativity and quantum mechanics for evolving one grand unified theory of the four forces. Dear friends, now come to the second important force. Electromagnetism, or the electromagnetic force, acts between charged particles like negatively charged electrons and positively charged protons. Opposite charges attract one another and similar charges repel, push away. The greater the charge, the greater the force. This is the principle. electromagnetic forces are transferred between charged particles through the exchange of massless force-carrying bosons called photons. Photons, photons, which are also the particle component of light. The force-carrying photons swap between charged particles. However, they are virtual and undetectable. Now, if this force is applied to the nucleus of any atom made of positively charged protons and neutral protons, the nucleus should burst apart. Gravity cannot save it, having minimal role at subatomic level, at subatomic scale. Thus, it led to find a force stronger than gravity, an electromagnetic force that keeps the nucleus intact. Thus, the force holding the nucleus together is called the strong force or the strong nuclear force. And how it was known? In 1935, Hideki Yukawa proposed that protons interacting with each other and with neutrons exchange a particle called a meson or pion to transmit the strong force. By 1950s, physicists with the help of particle accelerators, it's a machine, it's very sophisticated equipment. Particle accelerators found that protons and neutrons are made of smaller particles named quarks, and the strong force generated by mesons or pions hold them together, which in turn hold the nucleus together. The strong force operates only when subatomic particles are within the diameter of a proton. But unlike other forces, it gets weaker as subatomic particles move much closer. Other forces become weaker when the object goes far away, but it becomes weaker when the other object comes very, very close. Within the desired range, massless charged bosons, also called gluons. I'm sorry, these terms are very specific to this subject. I'm trying to make them easy. These are called gluons, transmit the strong force between quarks to keep them glued together, to keep them, jointed. Dear friends, fourth is the weak force or weak nuclear force or interaction. Force is also called interaction because it attracts. It is responsible for the particle decay or radioactive decay, causing change of one type of subatomic particle into another. It transforms the nature of the neutrons and protons. For example, a neutrino that stays close to a neutron can turn it into a proton, and the neutrino itself becomes an electron. It has, power to change the nature of the protons and electrons. Physics describes this interaction through the exchange of force-carrying particles called bosons. These bosons are charged particles named as W and Z bosons, discovered in 1983. Don't try to remember each and every sentence. Just understand the inadequacies of science beside so much research and investigation. When subatomic particles Subatomic particles, protons, neutrons and electrons are their quarks, come within 0.1% of the diameter of a proton. They exchange these bosons, causing a subatomic particles decay into new particles. If these are more than 0.1% of the diameter, it is useless. The weak force is thus critical for the nuclear fusion reactions that power the sun and the stars to produce energy. To produce the energy needed for life on the earth by allowing hydrogen isotope deuterium to form and fuse. You know, the whole system of energy and heat depends on this force. So, dear friends, we were just focusing on the deficiencies of these four forces discovered by science. Dear friends, currently science is struggling to construct one grand unified theory of the four forces to know the conditions prevalent at the point of Big Bang and the conditions that may lead to end of the universe. Physicists Sheldon Glashow, Abdul Salam and Steve Weinberg predicted in 1963 that unification of the weak nuclear and electromagnetic forces as electroweak force may occur at temperature of 100 giga electron volts. What is giga? Billion. 100 billion electron volts, which was a probable temperature shortly after the Big Bang. In 1983, such high temperature was reached in a particle accelerator, confirming that the two forces were related. They have some connection. It is further predicted that the strong nuclear force will unite with the anticipated electroweak force at some energy level higher than 100 giga electron volts. 100 giga electron volts, 100 billion electron volts to become electronuclear force. Further challenge would then require to unify gravity with the electronuclear force to evolve a grand unified force that would explain the entire universe as an integrated unit. In fact, it is merging of the microscopic world, the weak nuclear and strong nuclear and gravitational force, microscopic world with the macroscopic world. One is in astronomical scale, cosmic scale, where the gravity dominates, best described by Einstein theory of general relativity. Other is in molecular, atomic or subatomic scales, best described by quantum mechanics. But unfortunately, they are not compatible. So, dear friends, these mysteries which are puzzling the human mind pertain to only 4% of the observable universe, which itself is the tiniest part of the whole universe. Try to understand. This is unlimited universe, and observable universe is just very, very small portion, and 4% of that small portion we have so much galaxies and stars. While the other 96% of observable universe comprising of dark matter and dark energy might be having some other set of dark forces of nature. Dark forces means forces which are not known to mankind. Even in the visible 4% of the observable universe, Science could explain the four forces identified so far only by depending on the theoretical phenomena like the force carrying bosons are pions, gluons, photons are gravitons anticipated for gravity, and assumptive concepts like the singularity to justify failure in finding the first cause of the Big Bang, or Pauli exclusion principle as we discussed in the last lecture, giving hope of survivability to the quantum mechanics. These are the deficiencies of the scientific theories which I am trying to highlight. These shortfalls must not blur. Okay, there are many deficiencies and shortcomings in these theories, but despite of that, these shortfalls must not blur our appreciation for the great achievements of science in the pursuit of the truth, keeping in mind that such pursuit demands a marathon endeavor for which the reward has been promised by Allah in Ayat 53 of Surah Fussilat in the words, keep on trying, keep on investigating. This is the message. And what is the reward? Listen. We will show them, whom? The disbelievers, our signs in the horizons. What is horizons? This is universe. And within themselves, the self of the man. The words have been used, anfus and afaq, as sources of knowledge. I repeat the translation. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. The words of Qur'an are truth. Please also note, Ayat 6 of Surah Taha, the translation is, to him belongs what is in the heavens, universe, and what is on the earth, surface of the earth, and what is between them, and what is under the soil. Under the soil. Even earth has 7 layers. The ayat indicating the forces working in the heavens, in the depths of the earth, and within interstellar galactic domain, invites the man to explore treasures of knowledge of the known and the unknown universe, to acquaint with their great creator. The words, and what is between the heavens and earth, may be a clue of interstellar galactic material, which is mystery for the science today, and the dark matter or the dark energy. So, dear friends, it is an open invitation, not invitation. It is an open invitation to all of us without distinction of religion or culture for scientific pursuits to explore the truth with reference to these facts revealed in the Qur'an. With this, we conclude our discussion under lecture number 229. Please do subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures and join the noble cause. You may also visit website www.ideafoundation.com.pk to access the list of previous lectures. Thank you, friends, for participation. Allah Hafiz.